Hello, you lovely lot. Can you believe I've actually fished a match? It's been, what, sort of 2 or 3 months since I last did one of these, and I think that was the first match I fished all year at the Old Off. Well, since then I've fished another, I think 3 matches, all big qualifiers. First, well, they've both been at Partridge actually. One of them was a Maven match this, which the bagger won. He's a bit good, that lad, to be fair. He drew on when it's flat calm. Everyone expects it to be one in the wind, but it just shows you how good he is. But enough about him, we're talking about me. I drew on that day, I drew peg 66 on Colby 3, which I proper fancied. I actually called, I said peg 68 will win the match the day before, because what happened with that pegging from 68 all the way around to the bridge, so he's got 3 spare pegs, wind was howling in there, no one had drawn them, so I thought I'd been with half a chance here on 66, but it didn't turn out like that. The weather that was forecast, pretty much like today actually, didn't sort of like materialise on the day. It was forecast to go nice and overcast, load of wind blowing in, but sun came out, it's flat calm. I had to get the old ambassador on, and it was horrendous really. I got proper fish cates. I had Dave Brown Senior one side of me, he's had £56, and I've had Matty Higgins to the left of me on peg 68, which I thought would win. He's done brilliant, he's caught £100, and I've had £54. I just couldn't get any bites anywhere. On 66 on Colby 3, you've got like a little bit of a reed bed to your left, and fish had just started spawning then, and you know, there was fish coming in and going out all the time, and you know, I thought, oh yeah, I'll be all right, I'll get on them and try and mug them, but they just couldn't get a bite anywhere. You catch sort of like 2 or 3 fish and then that was it. So enough about that one, that was a rubbish one. The next one I fished was Partridge again, and I drew peg 77 on Colby 4. Again, really fancied the peg, to be fair. Pretty much every peg on the lake was in, but I've had a spare peg to my left, and I've had sort of, it's weird 77 because you're in like a bit of a bowl, so you've always got one spare peg to your right free, and then you've got a peg over the other side of the bridge which is free, so potentially you've got a lot of water then, a lot of room to like draw fish in. But again, it was a right bright hot boiling day. I still fancied it though because I had a lot of shade over, started off across, didn't really catch much again, to be fair, because the fish had other things on the mind, and you've got like a big reed bed down to your left, so I was priming that with maggots was the in bait then. Caught a few shallow on it, caught a few shallow down the middle, but again I didn't really have any ripple. What I have caught, again I've caught in 2s and 3s, so it wasn't really going anywhere. I've ended up with £77, and that's, luckily enough, it's won me the section. I was actually, I think, 4th on the lake with that, but I was split with Colby 3, so you've got to be a bit lucky, ain't you, every now and again. So I won the section with that, so I got some pennies back. And then the last one, so the main one, fish oil qualifier at Western Pools, just sort of 2 weeks ago. It's funny how it come about. Let me talk you through. I'm going to do a bit of waffling now. Let me talk you through about what's happened. So I was in the draw queue with Daddy May right at the front, so I'm thinking there's loads of cars in the car park. If we draw off site, we need to get straight in and, you know, get off and what have you. And I felt my phone going, so I'm thinking, well, where's my phone going at this time? There's, you know, there's only a few people know me as well, and what's gone on. So I've looked at it, and it was none other than Tom actual Scully. So I'm thinking, forget him, red buttoned him. But then I thought, I've seen him coming round outside the clubhouse, thinking, oh, Tom must want me for something. So I rang him back, literally like that at the draw bag, gone to draw, and Tom's called me out. He said, I want to do a quick interview with you, Andy. So I was like, all right then. So Anne comes back out, and I've gone back out with Tom and done an interview of, you know, where I thought the match would get won from, you know, tactics on the day, this, that and the other. And then we've all gone back in, and obviously we draw on the back of the queue. And I was behind Big Steve Parry, Pazzer, and Chris Weeder Jr. Now all the talk had been during this peg 2 on Stretton, 2 on Stretton. You know, the odd peg on clay pit was coming in, but everyone fancied 2 on Stretton. So Steve Parry's gone in, and he's drawn peg 3 on Stretton. I was behind Steve, I've gone in, and I've drawn peg 2 on Stretton, yeah! And then Chris Weeder Jr.'s gone in, and he's drawn peg 5 on Stretton. So all of us in a line, the last 3 to draw, and we're all in a line. I've gone to the peg. To be fair, it's a proper Mr. Crabtree peg. It looked absolutely perfect. Wind was blowing down there. I was the only one who could reach across at sort of 14.5 metres into reeds, because it sort of like comes back into a bit of an arm. Nobody else could get over basically, so I proper fancied it from them. I've taken casters to my peg, rang, you know, me friend up here who's a bit hard to understand at times. Talks a bit fast like this, but I'm his translator every now and again, you know what I mean? He won't mind me for saying that. So I rang him up and he's told me, like, Andy, fish pellets, you know, take a few casters just in case, but it's a pellet job and you're going for big fish. Bearing in mind there'd been a festival on the Thursday and the Friday, and F1s didn't feed, and I'd been coaching all that week, and yeah, F1s just hadn't been feeding at all. The fish weren't feeding shallow because it had gone proper cold. But Daddy May said to me in the morning on the way down the van, he says, I reckon the fish will feed shallow today, and because it had been a high pressure. Now, I need to pay more attention to sort of highs and low pressures and that. But I said to him, Dad, what are you on about? Come on, I've been out all week. Fish haven't been having it shallow at all. But yeah, true enough, the fish were up when I got there. They were crashing in the reeds and that. And what you've got at Western, obviously you saw it last time. In fact, I watched the video just to see, like, making sure I was doing it right. It's really deep down the edges. Literally in front of peg 1, I've had just over 5 foot. It was so deep. But, you know, I got told to start off on a top kit and one on, just coming sort of like down the ledge. But even there, it was like 5 foot. Started on 6mm pellets, and I've only had like 1 carp in the first hour, but I wasn't panicking because I'd been priming a swim across with 4mm pellets, and I've been loose feeding casters down the middle. Pretty much what we're going to do today in the Winning Ways episode, actually. So after that first hour, I couldn't resist it. I've gone across, banded 6mm, feeding 4s, and I've had 3 decent carp, sort of like £5 or £6 a piece. Then I've gone in and caught a great big wobbly F1. People around me weren't catching, or they'd only had sort of 2 and 3 fish. I knew what I was doing was right. And I've seen these like big silver flashes coming up down the middle, so I've stayed in it as long as I thought possible across. It's gone a bit iffy, wind's got up a little bit more, so then I've come down the middle and I've caught £30 really quick of these massive, great big eyed. You don't really catch them that often, so to catch them was awesome. They weren't like proper shallow, they were sort of like 18 inches to 2 foot. And other than that, you know, I kept priming obviously the edge peg, fully expecting to catch a late runner carp on that, but that just didn't materialise. And the thing that's done it for me is definitely taking casters with me where everyone else has said, you know, pellets, other than the man who knows, that Jamie fella. And it's just worked for me. So I'd catch sort of 2 or 3 real quick fish on casters, and the great big wobbly F1s were sort of like 3 or 4 pounds, some of these fish. And then I've gone across and I'd had like the odd carp and the odd F1, and I'd come back and catch another few quick fish and eyed as well. Just excuse well, this car goes past. It's going past, it's going past, it's still going past. And he's gone. Do you like that? Talk you through it. So yeah, I've just switched between the 2 lines. All outcome, I've had £132, and I was the very last person to weigh in. So obviously Clay Pitt had weighed in, £116 was there. There's a few 90s off weir and that. I don't think there's another £100 on our lake. And it's come to me, I thought I got £70–80, but when I weighed in £132, it was awesome. So to be back there again, so this is the 4th time I've been in the final. It's just, I mean, obviously I love fishing these big matches, and that's pretty much all I'll do now. I fish the odd little open and that, but for me, fishing Monday to Friday, coaching wise, and then weekends, if there's not a big qualifying match on, I tend to spend it with Mrs. and Littlins. I don't want to miss out on that, my little lad. In fact, a funny story, I told you I'd waffle on this one. So all that week leading up to it, it was my little boy's last match on the Saturday, the official qualifier. And all week I've been joking to him and said, look, it's all right, son, I'm going to win. You know, we're going to the final. Daddy's going to win. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd win the qualifier. And the night before, on the Friday, the little lad was in tears. I'm like, oh, I can't have this. So I ran my dad up, told him, and said, look, Dad, I can't go. I'm going to have to pull out. But Daddy May whoosh, slapped me, talked some sense into me, and he just said, look, just tell him you're going to win. I know you've been doing it all week. Tell him you're going to win. And, you know, that's what happens. Maybe I need to do that all the time, just say I'm going to win every single qualifier. So, as I said, to get back there a 4th time is awesome. Coming up, I've got another Maven Match this qualifier at Partridge, and I've got another Golden Reel qualifier at Partridge. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere else. For me, getting through to one of the major finals is fantastic, so that'll do for me. To do what that lad does, that Jamie, it's phenomenal, and it just shows you the kind of angler he is. To do it once, you know what I mean, to get through to all 3 big finals one year, but to do it twice in successive years, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And you know, long may it continue for him, because he's just set the benchmark now, and it's just phenomenal. Enough about him anyway, his head's getting big enough anyway. So yeah, so that's been it. So keep your eye for next time. Hopefully I'll have another one to talk you through about how we're qualified, and yeah, thanks very much.